Hey दोस्तों, welcome to fifth video of Bootstrap tutorial series. In this series, we are going to learn fundamental and basic of Bootstrap. In earlier videos, we have seen how to start Bootstrap and also learn about breakpoint and containers. It is recommended to watch that video before starting this video. In this video, we will learn about grid system. So let's begin. Bootstrap grid system uses series of containers, rows, and columns to lay out and align the content. It is built with Flexform and is fully responsive. It allows up to 12 columns across the page. If you do not want to use all 12 columns individually, you can group the columns together to create a wider column. As grid system is responsive, the column will rearrange automatically depending on the screen size. Just make sure that some add up to 12 or fewer. Bootstrap grid system can adapt across all 6 default breakpoints. The 6 default grid tags are as follows. Call is for extra small devices having screen width less than 576 pixels. Call SM is for small devices with screen width equal to or greater than 576 pixels. Call MD is for medium devices having width equal or greater than 768 pixels. Call NG represents large devices with screen width equal to or greater than 992 pixels. Call XL is for extra large devices having width greater than 200 pixels. Call XSL is for extra large devices such as television or projector having screen width greater than 1400 pixels. The above class can be combined to create more dynamic and flexible layout. Each class scales up, so if you wish to set the same width for SM and MD, you only need to specify SM. There are two ways to use Bootstrap grid. First, let the Bootstrap automatically handle the layout or control the column width for different devices on own. That is responsive grid class. Following is the example of responsive grid class. Create a row, then add the desired number of columns. The star represents responsiveness, that is SM, MD, LG, XL or XXL, while the hash represents a number which should add up to 12 for each row. Next example is of auto layout column. Instead of adding number to each column, let the Bootstrap handle the layout to create equal width columns. 2 columns will create elements with 50% weight each. Similarly, 3 columns 33.23%, 4 columns 25% and so on. You can also use column SM, MD, LG, XL and XXL to make columns responsive. Let's discuss both types of grid one by one. There are 3 ways to lay out columns automatically. First, equal width. Bootstrap will create columns with equal width. Add any number of unitless classes for each breakpoint unit and every column will be of same width. Check this example very precisely. Adding extra time for every example will increase the length of the video. So, it would be great if you pause the video in between to examine the examples properly. Auto layout for flexible grid columns also means you can set the width of one column and have the sibling column automatically resize around it. You can also use predefined grid classes as shown, grid mixins or inline widths. Other column will resize no matter the width of the central column. Use column dash specific breakpoint then auto to resize the column based on the natural weight of their content. In first example, first and third column will span up to 2 columns in and above larger devices, while second column will automatically adjust its weight based on its content in and above medium devices. Now let's move to responsive classes. Bootstrap grid includes tier of predefined classes for building complex responsive layout. You need to customize the size of column on extra small, medium, large or extra large devices as you see fit. There are 4 ways to use responsive classes. First, all breakpoint. For grid data frame from the smallest to largest devices, use call and call dash specific breakpoint classes. Specify a number class when you need a particular size column, otherwise feel free to skip call. Next, stack to horizontal. Using a single set of call dash specific breakpoint then number of column classes, you can create a basic grid system that start out stack and become horizontal and a specific breakpoint. Next, mix and match. Don't form columns to simply stack in some tier. Use a combination of different classes for each tier as needed. See the example for a better idea of how it works. Then last, row columns. Use the responsive row column classes to quickly set the number of columns that best render content and layout. Whereas normal column classes apply to individual columns, the row column classes are set on the parent row as a shortcut. With row columns auto, you can give the column their natural width. To nest your content with the default grid, add a new row and set of columns within the existing column. Nested rows should include a set of columns that add up to 12 or fewer. This may seem complicated, but don't worry, you'll be able to cope with it in further tutorial. Hope you enjoyed this video and curious to learn more about Bootstrap. In next video, we will learn about Bootstrap columns. Kindly like this video and share it with your friends so that it reaches more and more people. And finally, thanks for watching.